Okay, so this is the next project. This is a guitar that I built in 1965. Yes, I said built, as in from scratch. It's 48 years old and it needs help. In fact, it's way past due for some help. What do you want? Hey, Goofus. Your goal in life is to interfere, right? Yes, I know. Bozo. I used a slotted headstock design, even though it was much harder to make, just because I wanted it. The fretboard is a piece of solid rosewood. I made it. I cut and installed every single one of the frets. The front was the one mistake that I really made, being a complete novice and having no idea what I was doing. I made it out of American holly, which has great resonance. It's a beautiful sounding wood. But it wasn't strong enough to hold all of those 12 strings. In fact, it took me 20 years to find out, because about that point it started warping pretty badly. It developed a couple of cracks. One of the actual front braces popped off, so it basically became unplayable. The neck, as I said, is a solid piece of Honduras mahogany. The back and the sides are Hawaiian koa, an absolutely gorgeous wood. All the internal bracing is solid maple. Now, the tricky part is that the front needs to be taken off. Well, the front was the first piece that I put face down on the bench and built the guitar on top of it. Reversing that procedure ain't gonna happen. Somehow I have to get the front off of there so I can work on the back side of it. And right down here, I think you can see where it's separated, right along in there. From the tension and the warping, it actually pulled that part of the glue joint loose. I think if I pull off all the purfling and get a very, very thin blade, I might be able to start there and take it loose all the way around and maybe get it off. If it doesn't work, this may be the last video you see of it. We shall find out. Okay, step one of many is complete. The purfling came off, and actually in one piece, which is good because I'd like to reuse everything that comes off of this thing. So now I've exposed the gap where this little portion of the front has come loose. And the next cute trick is to try to pry it off of there without destroying anything. This could take a while. Okay, so a day later, after a lot of head scratching and reverse engineering and trying to remember how I put the thing together in the first place, the neck is off, which is a big help. I'd forgotten that I'd bolted it on from the inside. And the front is off. There are the braces that I copied from a Martin guitar technical manual. And of course there's the inside of it. Every minute detail of this thing, handmade by somebody who had absolutely no idea what he was doing. And now it's time to fix it. Here is the one brace that had come completely off. Which one is it? This brace had also come loose. All of this was due to the warping of the wood. And I'm debating now, since I've got it this far into it, whether to try to salvage the original front or replace it. Some thought will be required, and consulting with somebody I know who actually is an experienced luthier. I'm torn between replacing it and trying to flatten it, because I'd like to preserve the 48-year-old wood, but the big question is it worth it? The more I ponder it, the more I tend to convince myself that the holly is just shot. And I should take all the braces off, clean them up, get a new piece of something like Sitka spruce, and just make a new front for it. I don't know.